Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It would be no surprise if today's matchup turns into a grinded-out affair. The Ravens are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Dolphins, who will need to be sharp on offense. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Now West, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an all-pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
Just think about all the pass-rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now, he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
A dump off for Dixon. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run it here with Dixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. The Boise State along, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profile.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game.
This is Ajayi. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. In motion, Julius Thomas. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Many doubted Eric Weddle coming out of college, but they don't anymore. One of the best, most versatile safeties in the league.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Moore. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
More now. It's caught by Carew. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. They'll drop the throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll look to throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set, and guess what? They drop the football.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They send Stills in motion. Back to throw again. And here he's got Grant. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he has Carew. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now Moore. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Now it's Ajayi. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Terrell Suggs, a good sight there, back from another Achilles injury last season. He's able to get in and make the play. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They send Stills in motion. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This will be caught just inside the 10. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here.
And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
They'll run it with West. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That's a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Drake. Fighting through, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Second down, Flacco now. Caught left side, Gilmore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Moore with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
In motion, Julius Thomas. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
To throw here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. And Stills over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In motion, Julius Thomas. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They run with Ajayi. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They send Stills in motion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Stills right side. 8 yards there and a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Now Moore. It's complete. Stills. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In motion, Julius Thomas. Time to step aside. We're back to Baltimore after this. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They run again with a Ajayi. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now it's Andrew Franks on for Miami. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Frank's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively.
And the kicker commits the kicker's cardinal sin. He kicks it out of bounds. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. He's got it to West on the dump off. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And quickly, they get to the line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. From the gun, Flacco. Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And out come the Dolphins now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Over the middle, able to find Carew. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. More now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
6 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's caught by Carew. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 3rd down, a field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here, let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Here comes Grant on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And the big tight end shifting around. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The corner protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was put. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
All right, here we go. Detroit. Leopard.
And the back goes into motion. They'll try and throw for it here. Carew's got it complete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Trying to pound it in with Dixon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make them.
And he will take it in.
Everything.
Touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. And he'll bang that one through. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. Play action, they'll throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Let's go! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Moore, and he has Carew. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end for the short run. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
In motion, Julius Thomas. They'll need to get the play off quickly. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, able to find Carew. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. In motion, Julius Thomas. Moore now. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Tony Jefferson. And the Ravens taking the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Shift together here from the D-line. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? He's got his man on the crossing route. A gain of 6 there on first. And they're going to speed things up here.
Rashad Perryman is just gifted athletically. And I know we got a scare back in, what was it, June? We thought maybe a second knee injury, might miss a second year. But he came back.
Looking for Perryman, and it's intercepted. Picked by the rookie, Xavier Howard. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now back to throw. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Halfback sent in motion. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Caru's got it complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They give to Williams, running right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Back now in Baltimore. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. In motion, Julius Thomas. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
In motion, Julius Thomas. Play clock winding down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Moore. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. A gain of 6 there on 1st. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry up.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They send Stills in motion. first down. He'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd and short, Drake. Stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Moore now. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And Stills over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Gun. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And Frank's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. The fourth quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down, Flacco now. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drive.
Looking for 2 yards here on third down. Flacco. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Baltimore is going to go here. It's Flacco. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jeremy Maclin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie, Kamale Correa. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. On first down, they go with Dixon. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. Here's West. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On third down, here's Dixon. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Flacco setting to throw it. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So 2nd and goal here from the 9. They'll try again with Dixon. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kenneth Dixon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge. And someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And Charles,